Welcome to the Lucha Lounge. I'm your host, Steve DeMarco. I hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday fun day, or don't have a case of the Mondays, or at least get a day of fun for yourselves to enjoy. Hopefully you're just enjoying this wonderful journey we call life. I'm trying to think of any business. Well, you know, June 11th, the next television taping for Reality of Wrestling. If you're in the area that does have the CW39, be sure to check out every episode, 11 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Be sure to check it out. You will not be disappointed. If you're not in the area, be sure to go to our YouTube channel, check out the latest episode, or go to realitywrestling.com for further details. We're coming off of a couple of successful weeks with Texas City WrestleFest, and then back in our home on May 14th, and a successful fantasy camp. Some things were announced. We're making history. June 1st, you'll get to see kind of this 360 view in-ring action, a four-way that was really off the charts, especially given having the camera and whatnot. Just really interesting. Great momentum for Reality Wrestling. So go to realitywrestling.com for all details. Again, June 11th, another television taping. Looking forward to the big things that are happening. Yeah, man, it's just a great time to be part of Reality Wrestling and whatnot. So I know I'm enjoying my part within it. So this week, I was trying to figure out who I was going to get. I've talked to some guys and some of the gals, and I'm lining up some guests. Originally, I was going to set aside, I was supposed to get to sit down with Kevin Bernhardt, the director of Reality Wrestling, but he's such a busy guy. We had to reschedule last minute, and so hopefully in the coming weeks. But I talked to JJ Blake. Hopefully I'll get him on the show. Hopefully I can get Kylie Ray, our Diamonds Division champion, as well as the former champion Ivory Robin. I'm hoping to get her on the show here pretty soon. There's a few others that I'm going to reach out to in the coming weeks to potentially sit down with them. As far as for me, I'll be on the Nigel Rabbit show. We just recorded it a week or so back, but he had a few in the can, so I think mine's going to be out in the next month. But, considering we're both part of the Offshoots Network, it's great kind of cross-promoting. I had loads of fun. We talked a lot of PCW and Reality Wrestling. We just talked about, my time and life within wrestling, and, we get into some pretty deep stuff, and got some stuff off my chest and whatnot, so be on the lookout for that. Again, I appreciate all those that subscribe to the Offshoots Network, whether you get it through Google Play or iTunes or Podbean, wherever you get it. I know I have like Beyond Pod, and I've subscribed there, and I'm able to get the episodes. And I mean, he's got Trey Mack in the Offshoots. They've got a whole network of people and are trying to grow, but I appreciate all those that download my episodes and whatnot. So as I mentioned, trying to figure out who I was going to get, and I had actually spoken to this gentleman a couple weeks back, and we kind of lined up our schedules to see when we could do it. And I just got back from actually the World Gym Arena, home of Reality Wrestling, and we actually got to sit down in the lounge area there. So it didn't bring the lounge, but the lounge was there, and I got to speak to Tyree Taylor, one half of the tag team champions, along with Shane Taylor. They are the Taylor brothers, and Tyree and I actually do work behind the scenes as far as within production. A lot of times he's behind the camera, and has been behind the camera for a couple of years now, or at least the last 18 months or so, and have a blast working with him, and we get to film and work with talent. And he also works with me with the creative development sessions that I have. He's an integral part in that, helping me kind of organize that and whatnot, because I'm more of like kind of fly by the seat of my pants, and he's a little more organized as far as like criteria and whatnot, what things we're looking for. So really a pleasure working with him, and it was a great conversation. We talked about being born and raised in New York, and getting to a baseball career, and that kind of led into his love of wrestling, because that was pretty much the constant. He trained under Johnny Rods, and Gleason's Gym. So we talk about that. We talk about how life brought him to Texas, and he wasn't expecting to be in Texas, and how that potentially, eventually brought him to Houston and Reality Wrestling. He actually caught an episode and wanted to check it out, and now he's an integral part and half of the tag team champions. A load of success, and I'm just happy that we got to sit down. Real fun conversation, pretty in depth, pretty candid. Most of the times I don't really do a lot of research. I work with these people for the most part, so we just start with a question and we kind of go, and I enjoy it. I enjoy getting to sit down and learn about the lives and interests and goals and dreams, and just how life and wrestling kind of work together, work hand in hand, how they can kind of clash with one another at times, but always fun conversations. Again, I'm gonna line up some guests, and I'm sure I'll post it on Facebook or Twitter just to kind of give you guys a heads up of what to expect. But always, tune in, whether it's in video format on Sundays when those get released on YouTube, or Mondays. Again, go to the Offshoots Network. Feel free to subscribe to either one. Check out my Facebook. I usually post them up on there. So there's ways to get them on my Twitter as well. But as I always like to say, stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. But you will be all those if you sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with the one and only one half of the Reality Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I'm talking about none other than Tyree Taylor. Until the next time, later! Tyree Taylor. One half of the Tag Team Champions!
Still hasn't sunk in yet.
Oh my God. Well, we will get into that. You and Shane kicking ass, taking names. We're not even taking names. I don't even care about the names.
Body counts, baby.
Just about the body count. But every person in our industry, most of them, become a fan or started as a fan. So, earliest memory of wrestling. We covered this in character development class. Why wrestling? So, what got you into it?
I was a fan early, but I didn't get into it until later.
Okay.
I was playing baseball. Baseball was my thing, my religion.
Okay.
Baseball. I played catcher, first base. I pitched a little bit. I was always a big guy, so I was very agile for my size, and baseball was kind of the way to go.
Okay.
People seen me play. I used to go out, Brooklyn, New York. I used to go out and play every day playing baseball. And concrete, knee scrapes because I'm sliding on concrete. But it was something where I tried to do in high school.
Okay.
And I was looking for college ways to get in. But then there was a guy who was scout, and I thought he was full of it. He had the card and everything, and for the nationals he had the card and everything. So I just talked to him, what if? Type of thing. What if? So I just looked him up. Before that, before I looked him up legit, I just gave him the time of day, and then he just disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah. And I felt close. It was kind of the most demoralizing thing, and I looked him up. He was actually legitimate. So it was almost heartbreaking.
Wow.
So I was out of high school. I was moving back and forth between my dad, my aunt, my grandmother, just a place to stay. I wasn't really into college. I hated school.
Yeah.
School's one of those things that couldn't keep my attention for 8 hours. So I would be like the clown. I was into music too. So I had like a group of friends. I'm a name drop. I got my friend Cordell, my friend Tyree. We had a little group called Sound FX. We used to beat on tables with pens, and people would freestyle and rap and stuff. Hell, we started like dance competitions and stuff like that. It was pretty fun, but I couldn't really keep up with the school.
Okay.
So I just squeaked by. I remember transferring a couple times. which was hard. And one day, I just, after being demoralized by the whole baseball thing, I always loved wrestling. Wrestling was something that captivated me, something that brought me fun and joy when everything else didn't.
Yeah,
95, Shawn Michaels, I forgot what the match he had. 95 In Your House. What was that?
Was it him and Mankind? Or no, that may have been...
Was that Screwjob was in 97, right?
Yeah.
Must have been Mankind.
Okay.
But his entrance was so otherworldly. It was just so bright and vivid, and it just took to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been watching it, and now that it's funny, I'm watching it now on the network.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, what is this? Once I watched it, that was so fun.
Yeah.
And then just so much nostalgia, but and one day I just had a revelation. I had a big breakup with a ex-girlfriend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and I told her about the dream, and she didn't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how that ended.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was just dozing and just in and out of life. So I started looking for schools in New York, and I didn't know what the criteria was for a school.
Yeah.
I still didn't know that it was like predetermined and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just like going into it, balls in, you know.
Yeah.
And it was. I ended up looking up Gleason's Gym.
Okay.
Johnny Rods, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And I gave him a call and just told him my interest. You know, he had this thick Puerto Rican accent. You know, I don't know if y'all remember his days as Java Rook.
Yeah.
It's almost like talking to Java Rook. Pa, you have to come down with your deposit, and you got $3,000, and you're in the club, baby. And it was an eye-opening experience because I came in with my dad. I was 18.
Okay.
I was 18. I came in with my dad. He was like, my dad's like bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought that my dad was interested.
Oh, nice.
But it was me.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you're not small either." And then he let me have a ticket for his next show just to see it.
Yeah.
And it was just, I've never seen a show live at
Okay.
that point.
Okay.
So I was just like, wow, that's a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm big, I'm athletic. I have a friend named Andres who I used to practice dumb moves on. You know, probably hurt him more times than I've hurt people with. and you know, day after my 19th birthday, I took my first bump.
Okay.
I said, fuck this. They made me bump over and over and over again. I had the beginner headaches.
Yeah. You either banging your head or it's just your body going, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. It's literally your body gives you a come to Jesus with your brain, and your brain just goes, I don't know how to tell you. This may not be. This is not natural, man.
You fall on purpose, for Christ's sakes.
We try to stop you from that. That's why you catch yourself.
It was amazing, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's I've been like producer,
Mm-hmm.
music producer. I've been playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I was a gamer at one point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but wrestling was something that stayed with me. That's something I just couldn't give up.
Yeah.
I couldn't quit on myself on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just then on out.
So parents were pretty. They're pretty supportive of the decision because I mean, you go from being potentially a guy who's going to make baseball a profession or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was your life's goal.
Yeah.
What was the conversation like when you said this is wrestling something I want to do?
It wasn't too much of them
Mm-hmm.
because my mom at a young age went to Minnesota
Okay.
and lived there, and I wasn't too good of a kid either.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids where if you weren't in the family and you walked by us, control your kid.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how it was. But she went to Minnesota. I came back. I was in New York when I made that decision. My dad was all for it.
Okay.
You know, my dad, he was an athlete. He done things he kind of gave up his life because I was born. You know, so I had to do something for him.
Yeah.
You know, this was something I felt that I could do. I had to first ask for the money for my grandmother.
Wow. All right.
I asked for the deposit in that first month for my grandmother. She was actually excited for me, but I was living with my aunt at the time.
Okay.
My aunt, if anybody know my aunt, she is no nonsense business. You know, she has. I had a cousin who recently died.
Okay.
Recently at that time. And you know, he had so much promise and stuff, but he got caught up. That's what ended up getting him killed. And she didn't want that for me, and she was just throwing out like what she said. You're gonna end up with bad credit like your father, you know, just negative this, negative that, and it's not like she meant it. I knew she had a.
She's probably just looking out for you.
She's just looking out for it. They didn't understand the word professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But it's something I wanted to go into, and you know, my uncle who give his shirt off his back for you, and he kind of just said, "Oh, Gleason Gym, you know, my uncle used to box there and stuff like." So he was already excited.
Nice.
You know, it was just hearing that from my aunt. It was just kind of like iffy, but I knew it couldn't stop me. My grandmother gave me the money. The next day I went. Then the headaches.
So how long were you training with Johnny until you had your major debut, in-ring debut?
Oh, that's it's funny you bring that up because it was about 2 weeks.
Okay.
It was still about 2 weeks. Johnny has like a weird booking strategy.
Okay.
Yeah, he would throw people in matches, you know, to bring the people in and bring their family, you know, that's fresh, new, and exciting, blah blah blah. But I was always natural. I was getting things quickly. So he threw me into this group called BMF.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Monster franchise.
Nice.
And it was one big dude named Puma, and another big dude named Pedro.
Okay.
And you know, I was going to be that third member.
Okay.
And there's something called the Rumbo and Dumbo.
Oh.
Where all the rookies, you know, get in, you know, show them something, show them what you got, you know, you get thrown over the ropes, you know. And
Pretty easy to put together. You just get a bunch of students that kind of know the way around.
You know, they
know how to get thrown out without killing themselves. And that's like maybe the class right before, like, oh, we'll just show you how to get taken out. Yeah. Just so you're ready for this rumble.
It was pretty fun. And then I actually had a match right after.
Okay.
So it was actually pretty fun. I got a nice big spot, and it kind of went from there.
Okay. So how long were you with Johnny's company until you made the move to? What made you want to come to Texas?
Okay. It was about, I've been with him 4 years.
Okay.
4 years, and I knew I had to do something quick.
Okay.
Because I was getting I was really good. You know, Johnny would, you know, always say these nice things about me and blah blah blah. You know, you got talent, you got potential, all that good stuff. And I knew that potential didn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potential doesn't pay the bills. So I had to. He teaches like the basics. Basics. You know, there's really no character. Everything, all character promos and stuff like that is on your own.
Yeah. Well, that's I mean, outside of probably here, that's the norm for everyone. Like, they don't teach you psychology. Like, I mean, I kind of the same way. Like, I started maybe about a month or two, had my first match, and there was no, you just learned it on as you went. Like, promos weren't taught, character stuff wasn't taught. It was, maybe they gave you your name. They're like, "What do you have?" And then I came up with my name, and the only thing my promoter / trainer gave me was the sexy part. Everything else was me.
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Kind of like Zorro." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna be like a club kid from Miami, and I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'll figure it out that way." Like that, if it had been up to him, I probably would have been Zorro. I just.
Well, I wish I had that freedom. I didn't know. Oh man, the second month, I was every big guy. Johnny calls big your name,
Yeah.
and then until he comes up with something, and then the next month, I go out for another rumble, and I'm in a gorilla position, and I hear your name will now be Tiger Tyree.
Okay.
So this was being announced. Now up next, Tiger Tyree. So I'm like, hold up, hold up, what is this? So I come out Robert De Niro face. So like they actually caught a camera, they caught a still of it. It was I had the mohawk growing, which is probably a big part of me being a Johnny. My mohawk, I get to that later. And Tiger Tyree, I was like, all right. And then I got some of the boys in the back like, oh, Super Tiger Tyree. You don't like your name? You don't like your name? No, it's Super Tiger Tyree. And then there was this one badass guy. He was one of those dudes, cool all the time. And he was at that time it was Anthony Starr.
Okay.
It's like I don't know if he was drinking something, but you always picture him with a beer in his hand or something like that. He's like, oh, tiger tits. And I just hated it. I think I had a post about it or something, and then I just started like building comfort with the name, and then it became me. But the decision came from my girlfriend Juliana. She's like a big integral part of why I'm here.
Okay.
So she was going to school over there. That's where I met her.
Okay.
And she left. She went home. She was missing home. She was there for like 4 years. She was missing home. So she left, and then I was going to visit her. It was on one of those standby things, plane tickets.
Okay.
Because her family worked there, give me the hookup.
Nice.
I ended up spending 30 hours in JFK getting a flight.
Wow.
And a person that only had like $50, you trying to eat at the airport in New York, in JFK. That's like a meal.
Yeah.
And it won't fill you. So, I got sick of that.
Yeah.
Finally got on the plane and went down there. Never been to Texas. Never thought about going to Texas.
Okay.
I thought if you pass the border of Texas, your car would immediately turn into a horse. So I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I ended up going to Corpus, which is like palm trees and stuff like that. And, I was just like trying to soak it in, and spent my 2 weeks there, and then had to do the same thing. I was there for 10 hours this time. And I was like, you know what? Let's try tomorrow. And then her mom was just like, why don't you get a job here? I know tons of people, you get a job like that. So I didn't know, I didn't really have much. I didn't have much clothes because I was moving from here to here, and I didn't really keep much things. So I already had pretty much everything I had in the suitcase. So I was just like, okay, okay, we're trying to be together anyway.
Yeah.
So I just stayed there. I ended up going to this one of the plants, which is unheard of in New York.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new experience I'm taking in, and I ended up staying there for about 6 months. About month 3, I was itching. I was like, I gotta wrestle.
Yeah.
I gotta wrestle. So I ended up going into a gym, just working out, just try to scratch that itch.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? Let's move somewhere. I need to go find a school, see where we're going. and I ended up finding Funaki first.
Okay.
I was going to San Antonio, and then looking up schools. I knew Shawn Michaels' school was sold or something.
Yeah, like Rudy Boy Gonzalez, I think,
Yeah.
kind of overtook it or took it over
I
once
was trying
Shawn like unretired and made his big return and whatnot.
I was trying to go there, and then Funaki happened. So she has family in San Antonio, so I was gonna, I stayed there. I checked it out. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then at home, I was just looking up more information about it. Then I saw an episode of Reality Wrestling.
Okay.
I was hooked.
Okay.
It was I forgot what episode it was, but Abel, I think it was now knowing it was Ransom's mom who hit him with a sign.
Yeah.
And he just sold the mess out of it, flopping everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. I said, where is this? Houston? I didn't think about Houston.
Yeah.
And me and my girl took a trip because we were looking at apartments, and I met Booker.
Okay.
I had to spend an extra night because they were doing construction in the old building.
Yeah.
And they were getting that nice and stuff, and I had to go the next day, and I said, you know what? Let me get this rust off. Let me try. Let me at least try to get on this company. Booker was there, and Brad Gilmore was there.
Mm-hmm.
So he let me have a tryout match.
Okay.
It was against Cedric Payne.
Oh wow.
So, and he stopped it. Stop. It's, usually when I do that, it's a bad thing, but I don't have nothing to say. And then I just next week signed up, gave my money, and came here.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now what a lot of people don't realize, we try to hide it pretty well, is that you work in production. You help with the creative aspect. Had you had much experience doing that in New York?
Yes.
Okay. So what
about year? Sorry about that. About year 3. One of the guys who did all the DVDs, all their stuff, they would hand out DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
I started making.
Okay.
So I would edit the whole shows. I would, bring in the music. I would do all that. I would be the music guy and do matches and stuff. And I tried to get like a TV show for Johnny working. It was Hype TV.
Okay.
And he thought all like production stuff was like Mickey Mouse, and so he always shunned it. Kind of.
Well, that's kind of the norm for most indie companies. It's just video production is not really thought about.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh man, that's another expense.
Yeah.
On top of. Or can I get some buddies to do it? So it's always kind of the last thing, and I'm always like, man, they should get a production crew before you get talent. Just because how are you going to record?
I had my old camera, so I was just like, let me start recording these things, and I just started recording the shows, having a rookie or something be mobile cam, and then I would edit it, have the screenshots and stuff. It looked pretty good, and I would burn the DVDs, and it was all in my expense.
Okay.
And, I had much to begin with, but it was something I really liked, and I would do it for a company. So, and doing the interviews and stuff. There's actually a video out there with me and Johnny's Hall of Fame jacket. It was like high yellow and stuff.
Oh, wow.
I was doing the interviews. It was the worst. But it was something just to try to get the boys some more exposure, something like that. And that's something I wish to carry over here. When I got here, I felt like I needed to do something because about a month in, I saw Kevin coming in looking like a zombie. Yeah. Working day and night, trying to do something. So I went in the office and talked to him. I was like, you know what? Let me at least do a promo for you. Like, let me shoot something for you. Let me shoot some of these promos. And he's like, okay. And then training, he's like, Tyree, come here. Gave me a camera. You're gonna shoot this. and it was so I forgot whose Tough Enough video. It was Tough Enough video time, and we just did it, and it just grew and improved from there. Okay.
So how long were you at the school before you had your debut? How much time had passed?
Here?
Yeah.
About a year.
Okay. And how was the you mentioned with Johnny, it was really about the basics.
Yeah.
Which again, most good trainers, they're just trying to make sure you can do it well, and you can take stuff well,
Yeah.
so you don't break your neck or break an arm or hurt someone else or a lot of repetition. But like you mentioned, not a lot of psychology training, not a lot of promo work. What was the training like here? Was there much of a?
It was night and day.
Okay.
Because Johnny kind of preached almost getting people over, try to get people over, try to make sure their stuff is looking good, make the guy look good, make the production look good, and over here it's like, how can you do that same thing, but get yourself over, make yourself a commodity, an asset to a company, and character based and TV. Working TV, I've never done that before. Okay, and it was just night and day. I couldn't believe it.
So, let's expand on that. The indie mentality, which when we bring in new guys, it's hard to let go of those habits. What do you feel is the biggest difference between television style versus indie style? Because for book, even though technically people would say we're an independent, the truth is book doesn't even like saying that word. Yeah. For him, we're a television product. So what do you think's the biggest difference?
Mentality. Just you have to be mindful of cameras. It was working there is just we know it was work this way and. Just kind of work for the fans, and we're not working for the TV or the cameras. And it was something that, just trying to get your stuff in, just trying to get your shit in, and just work over there. Over here, it's a lot more structured. It's like I can compare this to say a WWE or something like that, and see it's kind of the same structure. It gets you ready for something like that. So in case they do call you, you're not in the back of the line trying to learn all the stuff when you just had all this time under. So it was definitely night and day.
Yeah. So you mentioned about a year of training, helping out with production, setting up, tearing down, being.
I never tore down the ring before.
Okay.
I never saw a skeleton of a ring before because it was all Johnny's ring is like. Like all stuck together, had a big ass spring in the middle. It wasn't moving. It wasn't going nowhere. Yeah. So it was just set up chairs and stuff. Over here, you tore everything down, put it in the truck. That was one thing. I don't think I left any later than 2:00. Yeah. We have the luxury now of being in a nice building where we don't have to do that. But I was glad to have done that for you.
Yeah. So, were there any points for you where it got discouraging because you were doing all the training but not being on the shows? Like you're doing production stuff, but you're not in front of the camera.
I realized that there was a pecking order.
Okay.
So I kind of understood that. Some guys will come in, have a tryout, and be on the show and stuff. But I was kind of happy about it. Okay. Because all those flaws that I was missing for TV, I worked on it. Okay. So I was okay missing that time. Yeah. But towards the end, I did kind of get itchy. I was like, oh, I want to be on there. I was working security. I was just like, yeah, I want to do this. And then I got a run in, breaking up Rex and Gustavo. Okay. So I was just like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. So I'm hoping to soon. Bringing my gear every time. You never know. Yeah.
And so who did you make your debut? Who was your debut against?
Aiden Cristiano.
What's I've been in the ring with that guy. It's been a little while. So what's it like being in the ring with a guy like Aiden?
Aiden is
and honestly, before you go ahead, he is one of your biggest fans. Your last the last tag match. Like, he's just in the back. We're watching Laundry, just constantly putting you over. So I just wanted to give you that. Yeah, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. He's like, that guy's talented, man. I tell you, I've been telling you. I'm like, I know he's talented. I'm the moonsaults, man, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, so what's it like getting in the ring with a guy like Dave?
Having it structured for him, knowing like it's about he's kind of making his baby face, his baby face come in, and it was just like, I just want you to start mean mugging, be aggressive, and Oz hits.
Yeah.
Oz can hit.
Yeah.
So it was an eye opener, and he kind of broke it down. He took care of everything, and something I could put under my cap, like this is my first time out here.
Yeah.
Hey, something as simple as the entrance, because I felt like I took too long.
Okay. Yeah.
I felt like I took too long, but he kind of just did everything that we had an idea for. He was amazing.
Okay. And then, so your second match, was that against Rex?
Yes.
So talk about the contrast, because I often tell people Rex is the scariest dude. Not you and your brother, Shane withstanding, but Rex, I don't know, man. Like, there's an aura about him. And he was really, like, that was his return.
Yeah. That was his first time back.
Yeah.
I've heard things.
There was all the warning. I think I was like, oh man, my bad. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. Yeah.
You about to get your ass.
He is going to hand it to you.
Yeah, and when you're talking to him, it's not like that at all.
No, he's all matter of fact, real nice. He's real like, man.
Places, I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
I got in the ring. I forgot what was the first thing we did was the lock-up shoulder tackle. It went good. Mm-hmm. Then he started throwing the trip and hammer fist. I was like, oh, I thought I was in the fight.
Like, do I owe you money, man?
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah. Brought you back to your memories in New York.
I remember I was on the rope selling for him, and he just chucked me.
Yeah.
And then just kept on hammering. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and you have no choice. Like some of those throws, it's like just remember how day one bumping and stuff. Yeah.
And then I remember he was like legit judo. And then I was like, okay, I'm 310 pounds. He just chucked me like a small baby.
Yeah.
And I got a shot in. I wished I put it in more.
Yeah.
I wished I put it in, but it hurt. He hit the hell out of me. And then I go to the back, and the guy's like, "You okay?" I'm like, strangely enough, I'm fine. No concussions. And stuff.
Yeah.
He was like, "Look, you got your ass." I was like, "Yes, I did." But it was humbling. It was very, very cool experience.
Cool. So, and then shortly after, I mean, you'd done a couple of singles matches, and then the conversation or the idea of you and Shane. Shane had been doing a couple of things here and there. He's obviously going all over the U.S. With Keith Lee, who's recently been here. But talk about that first time. Had you done much tag work prior to you and Shane?
Yeah, but it wasn't anything to solidify myself as a tag team worker.
Okay.
I'd done mixed up tag team. I did have a guy who was similar in his size. Mm-hmm. We were called the Big Cat Crew. He was Big Cat 3D Dexter. He was about 400 pounds.
Okay.
Big, but he was no Shane Taylor. I'll tell you that. No offense.
Yeah.
He was no Shane Taylor.
Well, Shane's for a guy his size, man, he can move, deceptively. He's not your traditional big guy because he's just, which is kind of the norm. I mean, being big guys, they're just kind of held to, you're now held to the standard of, man, you can't work big, you can kind of work big man style, and you should, but at the same time, you got to be somewhat athletic in there. So.
Which was great for me because, I would watch for the year I was out not doing anything. Mm-hmm. He came in Summer Champions, had that 8-man tag.
Yeah.
He faced Abel, I think, And it was,
Yeah, he was having a good little run. I mean, I know
yeah.
we brought him in due to the Wildcat stuff,
thing,
but
yeah.
then it was
It's just
yeah.
like, I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. Who's that? No, he's massive.
Yeah.
You know, and then me and Book had a conversation about the last match, about the Rex match and stuff. Just giving me some pointers and
stuff,
tips
yeah.
like that. And it came up. It's like, what do you think about Shane? I was like, well, what about him? It was, oh, you want you together. I was like, wow, it's like, really? You think I'm kind of trying to? It was great to hear something like that because I was
Because you never quite know. Yeah.
you never quite know, and we look alike. I'm a little more agile than him, but he's damn good.
Yeah.
And the day of the show we go in for a production meeting, and he just says, "Shane, meet your little brother." I was wow. Wow, okay. And then you start talking to Shane, he is impressively smart.
Yeah.
You can tell he's been doing it for a while, you can tell he's been doing it the right way for a while.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and facing the Lockharts, I couldn't say anything bad about them.
Yeah.
I couldn't say anything bad about them. So I was just like, am I ready?
Yeah.
Am I ready for this? I got three heavy hitters in the same ring. Shane just said, it's easy. Calm down. It's
Yeah.
easy. And we had that match with him, and it felt good to me. It felt great. I was so happy. There you go.
So y'all hadn't really tagged a whole lot, and then you get the opportunity to go after the tag team titles against Heavenly Bodies at the time. I mean, who had two-time champs, have kind of been much like the Lockharts, have been kind of a staple of not just the tag team division, but reality wrestling as a whole. That's another team that's kind of getting out there in the U.S. I mean, they're all over the place. What's it like, being in the ring with those guys? What's it like? Because y'all had almost a match of the year candidate, like WrestleFest, which was quite the tag team match.
I've heard of the Heavenly Bodies. They did shows in New Jersey in PWS.
Okay.
So I knew of them.
Okay.
And then they had PWS coming over for a little while.
Yeah, along with Wildcat. Yeah, just like everyone's invading at that point.
Big invasion thing going on. It looked like a Gundam show. You got a whole bunch of colonies coming after each other.
Yeah.
And Bodies stood out to me, and I knew him. I was like, okay, like kind of knew Follow as well.
Yeah.
Knew of them over there, just across the bridge. So getting the opportunity, I really didn't think would happen for me. Not that soon.
Yeah.
I didn't think so. Because I'm generally a fuck up. I'm generally a fuck up. Yeah, but so I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like but pressure usually either makes diamonds or bust pipes. I wasn't busting.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to bust no pipes. I had to show that Shane Taylor, he's already established.
Yeah.
And I guess my mission was to I'm here too.
Yeah.
I'm no scrub. I can be on that same level as you guys. And then tag team champions happened, and I couldn't thank Shane. He kind of helped me out. He continues to this day to help me out, to get my mind right, to get my head into what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
When I first heard about him and Keith, they're doing this Pretty Boy Killer thing, and I was just like trying to compare myself to Keith, but you can't really compare yourself to Keith.
Keith's kind of a freak, man. I've known that dude. I've known that cat for a long time. And when first time I saw him, I went, just give him the right nudge, and he will be something, man. Because it's just the strength, man, alone. And then the stuff he can do, the dive to the outside, a few of the things. Another really smart, well-spoken guy, really knows how to handle himself, in my opinion. So, what was it like for you when they announced you guys? Now you're the new tag team champions. You come from training in New York to kind of on a just life bringing you not just to Texas but then to Houston. What was it like the moment that you hear the announcement, you get the 3 counts, your hands are raised, and you're holding a title, which, I mean, probably even like 6 months prior to that, I'm not even on the show. It's not even in your mindset of what's
not even in my ballpark.
Yeah, or even like the day of that show. You're not really sure how it's going to go because you're working bodies. But what was it like for you when you finally, they raised y'all's hands?
First of all, when we faced the Lockharts, it was supposed to be like, number 1 contender thing, and then we won it. I didn't know if that means we're number 1 contenders or they're not number 1 contenders.
Yeah.
So we did the promo. Said, hey, we're number 1 contenders.
Yeah.
And then next month, bodies are flying in. We're facing bodies.
Yeah.
I was like, really? And I talked to Kevin.
Yeah.
And we were just like, I was just like, so does this mean that we're number 1 contenders? He's like, I don't know. he kind of brushes, he brushes people off.
Well, yeah. Plus, he can't. I think from experience, he knows. Man, I can't tell you because. Yeah. But tomorrow could change his mind.
Exactly.
So he doesn't ever want to be like, yeah, man, you guys, and then the day of the show be like, all that I told you didn't.
I thought it would be like, they come in. Maybe a DQ or something like that. Maybe you stretch this out a little bit. No, you're new tag champs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And before that book said, funny because I never showed him my moonsault.
Okay.
I never showed him my moonsault. So I remember seeing him, his face is like, hey, you got to do this, and then bing, you hit that moonsault, and I was just like, what? Because I would do it, wouldn't hit it.
Yeah, it was always kind of your let me crash and burn with some brilliance.
Exactly.
Just so I can get the other guy over for it. Yeah, it's always kind of like when I would do a senton or any kind of stuff on the top, it always move. Just move because it's a good way for me to take myself out, and then you can. You've got me. So
I'm 310 pounds. That's legit. That's not
wrestling.
Wrestling weights.
Yeah, we haven't.
I'm 310 pounds.
Okay.
Landing on someone is especially maybe like Andrew Lockhart. Or I was just like, oh, is he going to be okay? Try to make sure he's safe.
Yeah.
Make sure he's safe. Make sure the other guy's safe. But when he told me to do it, and that's going to be our finisher, I already had a finish for myself.
Okay.
So I was in the midst of telling him, but he said, "Oh, finish it with the moonsault." Okay. So we had the match with the bodies, and I hit the moonsault. I saw midair. I saw Justin's head. It's usually body.
Yeah.
So I saw his head. Laying straight on his head.
Oh, man.
But he got his head up.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. He got it. I got the pin. 1, 2, 3, new tag champs. I was so happy. And it was something that it still hasn't sunk in. I don't, to think that, we're a champion for book. I'm a champion for Booker T.
Yeah.
That was something unheard of.
I mean, a tag team, a guy really kind of got his career kicked off, really.
Yeah.
Him and Stevie. I mean, the idea that we have Harlem Heat in the back at all times, or Brother Love at times, man. Just the idea of Bruce just being around, man, the brain trust. Yeah, but to be a tag champ of a promoter who
Right.
that's
a tag
and he
team.
holds
Yes.
tag team wrestling to such a. I mean, you're his champ. That's a big feather, you know. So, I mean, the bodies are obviously going to be around. I mean, you know, you guys again had a great contest at WrestleFest, so I can't wait for people to see. You know, even if it's just the highlights, but it really was well put together. I mean, to have the bodies say, "Man, that's one of our favorite tag team matches we've ever had," says a lot for you guys, specifically because you guys are relatively new as a team.
Yeah.
You know. But any other teams out there within reality wrestling that I mean, you've kind of had a little thing with MOD. Any other teams that you're really like eyeing, or are there any teams throughout? Because I mean, reality wrestling is kind of like kind of throwing an open invite to talent.
Yeah.
So, and you guys being the tag team representatives, are there any teams that you guys that you know now you probably watch a little more tag team stuff? So, are there any guys that or teams that you?
Well, I always say, you know, whoever they decide to put us against, you know, I always learn from it.
Yeah.
I always try to learn from it. Whether it be MOD, maybe Punk Patrol come in, because you know I like their characters. I like how one of the things I shot was their gym stuff, and it was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so funny. They clicked together, and there would be some teams in New York that I would think, you know, maybe if they seen you here, you'd be crazy.
Yeah.
You know, EYBFO. You know, there's the Commandos.
Okay.
There's two guys that in Johnny's organization. I remember teaching them how to roll.
Okay.
You know, I remember teaching them how to roll, and those two, Kid Rico, Luan, they've gotten to be a great tag team. You know, hopefully one day I could work with them.
Yeah.
They've been amazing.
Cool. So on the production end, I mean, you and I film a lot of, pretty much most of it. You know, Kevin films some stuff, but we film some stuff.
Yeah.
Is there a particular group or individual that you really like filming? I know the Legion stuff, you really kind of taken a hand in that.
Yeah, I kind of got a connection from the Legion stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can go so many places.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on how many people are there at the time. Just kind of come up with something, and you know, what's the dirtiest place we got?
Yeah.
What's the dirtiest place
What's
we got?
What's the place that looks most in shambles? Yeah.
We got mirrors. Yeah, those mirrors. We got a guy, Sean Hendricks, who can talk his ass off.
Yeah.
He can talk his ass off.
Yeah.
And then you got professionals who've been here for a long time. You got Cedric Payne and you got Gabriel Hollier.
Yeah.
Who are consummate professionals. You know, so it was easy.
Yeah.
It was so easy. It was so fun. But I think my favorite stuff, the film, have to be Abel.
Yeah.
Abel Andrew Jackson is probably he's such a sponge.
Yeah.
For him being here so long, being around so long, and taking to my suggestions.
Yeah.
And throwing his own stuff in it, you know, it come out magnifique.
Yeah.
You know, it was come up so well, so funny.
Yeah.
One or two takes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, why is he not getting called? Hello.
Or at the same time, like, please don't leave.
Yeah.
Because we like having you on the show.
Exactly.
Be hard to replace an Abel Andrew Jackson.
Yes.
We're in this lovely building, you know. So, what's it been like for you seeing the building? I mean, I remember kind of like the early days when the carpet wouldn't come up because it was life. It literally was laid down in the 60s, and nothing's going to take it off. But through all that, like, to kind of see, for the most part, the finished product, what's it like for you?
I remember that carpet.
Yeah, yeah.
Hated that carpet.
My
It
God,
wouldn't come
man.
up for we'll probably still hate this. But you know, I had suggestions. I had stuff that I've done a little construction with my aunt and uncle. You know, stuff that worked.
Yeah.
But this stuff fought like hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to get a scissor lift. We had chemicals poured on it.
Yeah.
We had
you had people scraping like
scraping
it
like
was
crazy, scraping like crazy, and I was just like trying to command something because we were all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, there was really no like guidance for us, the guys, not the workers. The workers would be working, but I kind of took over. I would get like, you know, foreman Tyree. It was just like, I hate this, you hate this. Let's get this up, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, when I'm somewhere, I try to give my all to it. I try to stay as loyal and as you know, as much as a commodity to the thing growing and prospering as I can. So I take off of work. I would make sure somebody's there doing something.
Yeah.
You know, because Abel was that guy. He was head honcho at the time, and he got sick really bad.
Yeah.
So I was kind of the only one there going back and forth. I just moved like 5 minutes away because I knew we were coming down here.
Yeah.
And it was tough. It was hot, sticky, dirty, wet. And then we had the biker show.
Yeah.
We had that biker show, Bikers Chicks Wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was past it, so I swung by and looked through the mirror, looked through the window, and I was like, it's gone. It's gone. I was so relieved and happy, and seeing the guys come in building stuff, walls. I remember there was no concession stand, there was no back.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, it almost it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it because we get to come here, nice comfortable furniture, nice room looking amazing for promos and for the production to have our own place. First of all, we have an entrance to our own arena. Not many places, independent companies, can say that.
Yeah.
And just being a part of it is something special.
Yeah. So, one little known fact, your girl was more or less your reason for moving to Texas. She's a bit of a baker.
Yes.
That's kind of her thing. That's what she wants to do. Like,
she's trying to, as of now, she's trying to open up her own business.
Okay.
Open up her own company. She just left her job.
Okay.
So she's in it right now, getting permits and stuff. She 3-time graduate of Culinary Institute.
Nice.
And you know, she has been. It's not hard to tolerate me.
Yeah.
It's not hard to tolerate me, but then it gets really hard to tolerate me.
Yeah. Okay.
and she's dealt with good and bad, ugly, all that dysfunction of me and stuff like that. And I couldn't thank her enough, to be honest. And you know, try to make a new life in Houston. Try to make a new life, you know, somewhere where I never thought I'd be. I was in New York. I was Brooklyn until I die. You know what I mean? I wasn't leaving. Yeah. And then coming over here, you know, one thing, I'm not a sweets guy.
Okay.
I'm not a sweets guy. But you put some good food in front of me, second, thirds. That's where I'm at. That's how I got it. You know what I mean? So she's kind of been there for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So anything else you'd like to do outside of the wrestling stuff?
I back to gaming. I'm an Xboxer. I play my Xbox One almost religiously. It's almost a detriment. You know, I go to work, gym, play the game, go to sleep. But one of the loves that I continue to take a part in is editing. Video editing is kind of the thing that's been taking up a lot of my time, and it's something that I'm glad I've learned over there. Yeah. And you know, I'm not gonna make a whole show for CW. Yeah. Let me get a little stuff in it. Yeah. So I made some of the guys entrance Tron. Their stuff, you know, make them look good. You know, make the show look way better. And you know, hopefully that would be also in my belt, another feather in my cap.
Yeah. So another thing, last thing that we, you and I, kind of a passion project for both of us is character development.
Yes.
And I will give you a lot of credit. You came up with some criteria because I'm more of a, hey man, let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
You should all know what I want. Yeah. I know what it's for me. Why it's character development for me is real important, especially for television product. But for you, what's it like for you?
Throughout my time in New York, when I was doing that TV stuff, and I just thought it would be great to have something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I would teach some of the young guys, teach the younger guys to try to talk. Let me give you 30 seconds of this, 30 seconds of that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy who stuck out, and we just kind of became friends upon character stuff.
Yeah.
Shane Adams.
Okay.
Gene. He was kind of a guy who kind of walked me side by side with doing that because he enjoyed it. He was still a young buck rookie,
mm-hmm.
and he enjoyed it, which made me enjoy it more.
Okay.
And then I got over here and seeing all the character work, breaking down every film that I've now watched.
Yeah.
Character is highly important because it brings you through your mind, through your eyes, to the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm learning too. I'm no expert. I'm still learning, but I know now what it takes
mm-hmm.
to have a decent character, to be able to talk,
yeah.
be able to be fluent, and be able to connect with the person on the opposite side of the screen.
Yeah.
And it was something that broke down, like the first part of it was kind of real.
Yeah.
Kind of what's this to you? What's something random? What inspires you?
Mm-hmm.
Because you try to get into the person. You try to be something that you're on TV. Maybe something totally different from what you put out on the TV.
Yeah.
So if you can talk about your life, you should talk about life that's turned up to 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And breaking down like what happens on TV, maybe WWE, TNA, Lucha Underground, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucha Underground has probably been one of my favorite things.
Yeah, man, that's a pretty excellent show, man. Character-wise, it's I like the characters sometimes. I mean, I know probably for our next class, I'm going to kind of bring up because it is like get to your backstory and such. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm going to be like, well, there are two types. There's you with the volume turned up, which has its pros and cons, which we'll get into. And then it's like, and then they're the ones where they go, here's a character, and then you have to figure it out. And I always use like, might have been a fan of Matt Cross's agility, but I really love Son of Havoc, or like Ricky Banderas thought the Messiah stuff was great, but Mil Muertes, man, that's whole nother, or like Ricochet. I didn't even know it was Ricochet. I just was a big fan of Puma. So
the whole Pentagon and Vampiro.
Oh man, yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It kind of just like, this is what you can do with a character.
Yeah.
Like who knew Vampiro could still like do Vampiro?
Yeah.
And you watch that and it's just so captivating. They bring fantasy and reality, kind of mix it together.
Yeah.
And you have a product to where it's a show, it's action, it's something that, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
You don't do stuff like that every
day. Yeah. Yeah.
And it kind of inspired like being a character. Like I remember Rex saying, because he's legit, doing stuff, and he's just like, as soon as I understood what I was, it was easy.
Yeah.
You can only hope to be that way with the character reviewers.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to spread it out with some of these guys here.
Yeah. So where can people like want to get hold of you? If there's companies that want to book you, just kind of your whole social media how can people find out more about Tyree Taylor?
On Facebook, Tyree Detailer. You got Instagram and Twitter, T_Taylor 347, and that's where you can reach me. I'm not a hog guy.
Well, Tyree, I'm really glad. I mean, we worked together. We've been working together for a couple of years now on the creative production side, man. I can't, your debut against Aiden, man. I just was like, go for broke.
Yeah.
And you went for broke, and then you and Rex, same thing. You went for broke. Now you're
No, I
tag
got
team.
broken.
Well, you got broken. You came through. You rebuilt. Shane helped you. Now you're tag team champ. Man, just continued success, man. It was a pleasure having you on the show, man.
This is amazing.
All right, man.
Thanks
Thanks
so much.
No problem. In a lounge?
In a lounge.
Did